Hey everybody, it's Steve and Natalie with Dark Art Astronomy, and today we're doing a review of 3 Pier-side PCs, including the Intel Nuke, the MeLe Fanless, and the Eagle 5.
And it's really boring.
This is a technical analysis of the specifications that people need to know about if they're going to buy a Pier-side PC for their astrophotography rig. It's highly relevant.
Fascinating.
Okay, so let's get started right now. We present part 1 of our analysis of 3 popular Pier PCs that we have used in the field to run data collection software for astrophotography. These include the Intel Nuke, the MeLe Fanless PC, and the Prima Luce Lab Eagle. We paid full price for these PCs and received no benefit from any of the manufacturers as a result of this review.
Today's video is just about the various features and limitations of the PCs. In part 2 of our Pier PC analysis, we evaluate the stability of each unit as used in the field, and just to give you a heads up, 2 of these Pier PCs failed after less than 1 year, while 1 PC has continued working for more than 2 years.
In addition to discussing the features, we present our opinions about those features and discuss adaptations and additional hardware you may need to adapt each PC to your astrophotography rig.
The first feature that we want to address for each PC is processing power. The Intel Nuke PC we tested has the i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of storage. The MeLe Fanless PC has the Celestron 4-core 5105 CPU with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. The Eagle we tested had Intel's 13th generation i5 chip, which is a 12-core microprocessor. It carries 16 gig of RAM and 512 gigs of SSD storage capacity.
Our opinion is that the Eagle and Intel Nuke provide the best options for processing power and data storage. The MeLe is slower and has limited memory. To reduce costs, the MeLe uses lower-end processors, which are okay for basic operations, but for sophisticated systems, we think MeLe finishes far behind and in a distant third place for this feature.
The next feature that we feel is important is the number and type of available USB ports. The number of USB ports is important because we are assuming you will use the PC for at least 3 peripherals: an imaging camera, guide camera, and mount. If you add autofocus, a filter wheel, and a rotator, you've just tripled the number of USB ports needed. If you add anything else, like a separate power management box and flat frame generator, those will require at least 2 additional USB ports. That takes you to 8 USB ports.
The most experienced astrophotographers will incorporate a power management system like the Pegasus Power Box and connect it to the Pier PC. This gives you remote access to the power switches.
So this time, first up is the Prima Luce Eagle. The Eagle has a total of 10 USB ports, including 3 USB SuperSpeed 3.2 connections, 2 Thunderbolt ports, and 5 USB 2.0 connectors. Prima Luce Labs has a software tool called X, which allows you control over each USB connection. You can connect or disconnect any USB port remotely with a push of a button using the Eagle Manager X software.
The MeLe Fanless PC that we tested in the field has 2 USB 3 connections and 1 Thunderbolt port, so you get a total of 3 USB ports. This compares to the Intel Nuke, which has 6 total USB connections, including 3 USB 3 connections and 3 USB 2 ports. The Nuke has no Thunderbolt connections.
For this feature, the Eagle soars far above the others, giving you more options than you will probably ever need, and providing the unique ability to turn individual USB ports on and off remotely.
There is no doubt that the Eagle is the best option, with the Intel Nuke coming in a distant second. The MeLe is barely adequate with 3 USB ports.
You can always connect the PC to a USB hub to expand your data distribution, but they're prone to glitching at the worst possible times, which means the device disconnects or becomes unresponsive. and it's one of the most common issues in astrophotography setups.
All you have to do is go online and Google USB hub failure, and you'll find hundreds of complaints where the device randomly disconnects or fails altogether.
Some people also rely on the Pegasus Astro device to provide more USB options, but remember, Pegasus Astro is engineered for power maintenance. And think about it. You have a single USB cable connecting the PC to the Pegasus. If that USB connection stops, that means all of the devices connected to the Pegasus will experience an interruption in data transfer.
So in summary, the Eagle offers you the best choice for managing the data connections for all of your astrophotography devices. Pairing the Intel Nuke or the MeLe with a Pegasus power box can be an acceptable solution so long as you understand that there are 3 possible points of failure in that situation. The USB port on the PC is one point of failure. The USB port on the Pegasus is a second, and then you have the cable itself.
We do not recommend using a USB hub for your equipment. Yes, it's an inexpensive solution, but you get what you pay for, and they frequently fail. We feel this is not a reliable means to manage data for astrophotography. And this segues into the next feature that we feel is very important, power management. Neither the Intel Nuke nor the MeLe Fanless device provide any power management features to control your dew heaters, cameras, mount, or other accessories. They do not provide software to toggle the USB ports on or off. For power management, you either use separate power bricks for each device, which is extremely inefficient, or you have to buy an external device like the Pegasus power box. The power box connects to the PC using a USB cable, which allows you to remotely access the power switches.
The Eagle is unique because it provides a power distribution system consisting of 7 different 12-volt power outputs and gives you control over all aspects of the power distribution for each output. By way of example, you can power cycle your dew heaters, mount, flat panel, camera, anything that requires power, and you can do it all remotely from 800 miles away individually. You can also control the voltage and amperage for each outlet.
For power management, the Eagle is the only pure PC on the market that gives you the combined benefit of a PC and the power management in one device. Power management is not independently available through the Intel Nuke or the MeLe.
Cost associated with those features on the Eagle, and we'll discuss those later. But that brings us to our next feature, which is cable management. The Eagle gives you 10 USB ports, as we indicated earlier, and the ability to power all your devices in one box with one power brick. And the Eagle can connect to higher-end peripherals using its Ghost Mode wireless capability. If you have a wireless-capable accessory, like a flat panel that can be connected using the Ghost Mode, you can avoid a cable connection for data transfer.
The Nuke and MeLe will require more work for cable management because you will probably need to incorporate a separate power management box. This means at least 2 power cables plus an extra cable to connect the power box to the PC for remote access.
And the Eagle again edges out the Intel Nuke and the MeLe on the cable management aspect because they increase the number of cables and connection points needed to run your rig. And remember, every connection point and every cable on your rig is a potential point of failure and an opportunity for a cable snag. The Eagle, with its X software and Ghost Mode capabilities, reduces the risk of cable snag and allows you independent control over every USB connection and point, and provides sophisticated power management at a cost.
The next question is which PC will function outside in harsh weather environments. In Texas, we see weather that ranges from greater than 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer to single digits during the winter.
The documentation for the Nuke and MeLe both specifically provide that the PCs are designed to operate in a temperature range of 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Here is where you need to be careful. operating the PC in an environment outside of the specifications will give the manufacturer the ability to void your warranty. If you are like us, we operate our astronomy rig all winter regardless of the temperature. We have a clear dark night, we're going to use that time to collect data. If the temperature drops below 32 degrees, we don't plan on running outside and tearing down the equipment. That means we are going to be pushing the envelope when it comes to the recommended operating conditions, and there are consequences for doing that.
It's important for you to know what those consequences are. If you operate the Intel Nuke or the MeLe PC outside in sub-freezing temperatures, you run the risk of PC failure and you are likely to void your warranty.
The Eagle is rated to work in sub-zero temperatures, and using it in harsh conditions does not void the 1-year warranty.
We feel temperature range is an important factor for you to consider. If you live in a temperate climate, it may not be a concern, but for people who experience cold winter temperatures, they need to be able to rely on a Pier PC that is designed to function in that environment.
The next feature that we think is important to consider is whether your Pier PC will generate an independent source of vibration, which can disturb long exposure photography. Eliminating any possible vibration from your rig is very important during data collection. The last thing you need is a fan operating in the background and generating external vibration. Here, the Intel Nuke totally fails. None of the Nuke PCs that we investigated were fanless, and that was a huge negative for us because it does create additional vibration.
The Eagle 6 and the MeLe, however, both have fanless operating systems and received passing grades for this feature.
These devices are great tools, and we want to tell you how we have used them in the field. Now, not everyone needs these, so we're going to zoom through these before we finish up. Another good feature to have in your Pier PC is an inclinometer, especially if you're operating your PC remotely in the dark. We use this to confirm that our PC is in the correct park and home positions at night when we cannot see the telescope. If you have an inclinometer, you can verify the position.
We also like to monitor the sky darkness using an SQM device. At our property in West Texas, we struggle with light pollution domes from nearby towns, and the SQM helps us evaluate when we need to stop imaging a particular target.
Also includes a motion detector, which lets us know whether wind gusts, flexure, or other external vibration is a source for camera shake, which again is very important to avoid for long duration exposures.
The GPS receiver is also handy because it allows for pinpoint accuracy for mount synchronization.
And finally, we have the price point considerations, as we alluded to earlier. As of December 2025, you can get a MeLe device for approximately $200, plus whatever sales tax you may have to pay. The Nuke runs for about $300. We also recommend you get the Pegasus Astro device, which we highly recommend if you get either the MeLe or the Nuke. And the Pegasus runs about $350. So all in here, we think you're going to need to invest about $600 for the MeLe or the Nuke because you're going to need to pair it with the power box.
This compares to the Prima Luce Eagle, which runs for about $1,400 but does not require a separate power box.
We have tested all three of these, and in part 2 you'll find out which two failed in our field tests and which one survived. In part 2, we will also give you some clips from our friend and fellow YouTuber Sasha Wyss, whose video channel is called View into Space.
Please like and subscribe, and we wish you all clear skies.